Single bells.
Single bells.
Single all the way.
It's not that fun.
It's really dumb.
I'll probably just go gay.
What the f?
What's going on, guys? It's Tron Ninja here, coming at you with the top 5 best classic Gobblegums and Black Ops 3 zombies. Quickly before the video begins, if you give me a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment with some decent criticism, that would be all appreciated. Also at the top right of the screen, I'm going to leave a card linking to all my previous Black Ops 3 zombie content, so if you could also check that out as well, that'd be much appreciated as well. Anyways, on with the video now. Coming in at the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 5 spot is our elemental accomplishment. You can switch weapons and recover from performing melee attacks faster, reload and use items more quickly. This one is more useful for like switching items to shields and stuff, and trying to knife quickly if you don't have access to like sword flee or insta-kill, but mainly it's useful if you're trying to throw monkey bombs or other type of tactical grenades. It's really useful on maps like Origins, for example, when I'm trying to get the melee kills for the G-Strike, or if I'm just trying to toss a monkey bomb more quickly. Other than that, it doesn't have much utility, so that's why it's coming in at number 5. But it does has its uses. You just have to figure out what you want to use it exactly for. Coming in at the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Sword Flay. This one activates for 2.5 minutes, and melee attacks deal to zombies 5 times as much damage as they normally would. The reason why this one is super useful is because if you're running classic Gobblegums only, this Gobblegum is extremely helpful for trying to get those early setup game points so you can open up doors. I always use this one on Origins, especially for the previously mentioned G-Strike steps, and many other reasons as well. I always run this classic if I'm trying to set up with classic Gobblegums, simply because there's not much Gobblegums in the classics that can offer you points, and this is pretty much the only one that I could find that actually has that type of utility. So in that regard, I think this one is definitely worth it. So I would definitely use this one for classic Gobblegum runs. Other than that, you know, if you want to use it for increasing your Bowie knife damage, you can also do that as well, or the sickle from Ascension. But most of the time, people are just going to use this for early game, and that is about it. Coming in at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot is Anywhere But Here. This Gobblegum has 2 activations and instantly teleports you to a random location within the map and throws a concussive blast that knocks down any nearby zombies, keeping you safe. The reason why this one is coming at number 3, and the reason why it was at number 1 in Black Ops 4, the reason is because there's just a lot better utility and better Gobblegums to use better than this one. And a lot of the time, this one has the same problem as the Black Ops 4 one. Sometimes I teleport, and I teleport literally like 5 feet from where I was. And it kind of defeats the whole purpose of being able to use this. It does happen a lot less often with this one, I will say that. But generally, this one is just not as useful as some other classic Gobblegums. And the other thing is that in certain areas, in certain maps, you cannot actually activate this Gobblegum. So for example, the Crazy Place, for some reason, you're not actually able to activate that there. Same thing with Moon. You cannot activate it in Area 51. So if you're in specific parts of maps that you cannot use this in, and you try to use it, you're most likely going to die, which is the other reason. So definitely be careful when you're using this one on certain maps. Sometimes it just won't work. Coming in at the number 2 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot is In Plain Sight. This Gobblegum activates twice, and for 10 seconds each you are ignored by zombies. The reason why this one is better than Anywhere But Here is because this one will work regardless of location, and it doesn't teleport you. It simply just makes you ignored by all enemies for a simple 10 seconds, so then you can escape whatever bad situation you were previously in. This one is extremely useful, and this is probably the one classic Gobblegum that you're always going to see people running, especially because you don't actually have to unlock this one, I believe. You just get this one immediately when you start playing. So this is definitely one that you'll always see people running because it's always a lifesaver. Other than that, you know, it doesn't really have much outside utility besides just saving your life, so definitely useful in that regard, but other than that, it's just meant to save you. And quickly before we go on to the number 1 spot, I want to make a few honorable mentions. Alright, so our first honorable mention is Danger Closest, aka PhD, that lasts for 3 full rounds, or 4, and you get 0 explosive damage for the remainder of it lasting. The reason why this one is coming in at an honorable mention is simply because, well, it does have its uses with specific explosive weapons, but the problem is that, well, in Black Ops 3, you're highly incentivized to use explosive weapons, and generally there's not a lot of them in the first place, so there's really not much point to using them unless if you're doing like a PhD game specifically, like on Shangri-La or something. Outside of that, there's not really that much purpose to using it. It has its uses, like with the meatballs on Shadows of Evil, the exploding zombies on GK with the electricity or fire, and other types of things, but those are like one-side utilities that you would only use for like specific things. It also can be used for the boss fight in Dreisendrach. It makes the boss fight on that map 10 times easier because the Panzer shock charges can't do anything. So it has its utility, but most of the time you're going to be using it for one-off things or PhD only type games. It has little use beyond that. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot, as probably all of you guessed, is Alchemical Antithesis, as I hopefully didn't butcher. It activates twice, and it lasts for 60 seconds each, and each 10 points instead rewards you with 1 ammo inside of your stock of your current weapon. This is basically like a 1 minute long constant max ammo that will constantly refill your wonder weapons and your normal weapon, so this one is definitely the most useful. It is extremely useful for high rounds. I always run this one if I'm doing a classic run because getting extra ammo is crucial, especially on these no mega runs where you're having to constantly worry about ammo and all that other stuff. You really don't want to have to worry about not getting a max ammo, so having this as a backup is pretty freaking useful. The only problem that I have with it, and the reason why it's so overpowered, is because of the fact that, well, you have to get to rank 35 of whatever prestige to be able to unlock it. So this one is definitely the one I would highly prioritize if you're getting new to this game, because you don't get this one immediately, and if you don't have this one in most of your games, your guns are going to run out of ammo extremely quickly. So highly recommend you rank up and get this one unlocked so then you can start using it in your games. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the top 5 good classic Gobblegums and Black Ops 3 Zombies. What did you guys think? Leave me a like, give me a subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment with some decent criticism down below. All that would be appreciated. Also, remember to check the top right of the screen at the start of the video so you don't miss out my other Black Ops 3 zombie content. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.